Hi again, everybody. Apparently, I made a quick video on this bike because I thought it was more about what the bike does rather than what the bike is, but apparently I was wrong. So I'm going to go into some detail on this bike. This is the Trails E-Zip electric bicycle. Now, they do make electric bicycles that they have the electric motor in the back hub, which is down there, some in the front part, but this one is all the way here on the back. Now, the reason why I like this one over the other bikes is the fact that on the other bikes, as of now, the bikes can do up to 65 miles an hour. I'm not riding a bicycle that can do 65. This one, I have gotten it up to maybe 30, and that's it. That's fine for me. I also, when I first showed the bike, showed it without the batteries. Well, as it turns out, I have the batteries for the bicycle, and they slide in here like this. And that's all you do, put it in. It comes with two batteries, one there, one here. Like I said, all you have to do, hold on a second, I got a frame in the way. This guy right here, all you do is slide it in, drop it down, you're done. As of now, is an electric bicycle. Those batteries are fairly heavy, only because that's how they were designed in the beginning. You can get them in lithium, which they are extremely light, but the lithium is like 3 times the price. And for me, these batteries take me far enough. Now the thing is, this motorcycles have a little switch under the carburetor or under the gas tank that is regular tank, and when it runs dry you can switch it over to the auxiliary tank to get you to where you need to go to get more gas. Well, the irony about this bike is it has the same thing. Down here, right there, is a switch. That switch goes from one battery to the other. There we go. Tried to hide from us. That switch goes from one battery to the other, so that if you're on the road and one of your batteries dies, you're not stuck. You flip it over to the other switch and keep going. This bicycle, because of the design of the back wheel, which is a stand on this one, a regular axle. When I bought this, there were 2 bikes, and I still have the other one. The back wheel was bent, and the guy who was selling them didn't know it, and thought this is going to be literally catastrophic for me to try to sell this one that's bent, because nobody's going to want it and I'm not going to be able to get rid of it. Well, I bought it from him, and then I went to a pawn shop and bought another bicycle. This thing had street tires on it. This is a mountain bike. You don't run this thing on street tires. But on that one, excuse me, on that one, it had the mountain bike tires, same size and everything. I bought it for, I think, $20, because they were just basically trying to get rid of it. I took that back wheel off, took the spokes off of this one, mounted that wheel on and the tire, and you can't tell from riding this thing that it's been replaced. Now, this bike has a derailleur on it, and for those of you who aren't sure what a derailleur is, just like a 10-speed bicycle, it has a derailleur, and this derailleur has a shifter, And the shifter is right here. This right here. And here's your shift indicator right here. And yes, that works. The other side of it is almost like a motorcycle in the fact that here is, I guess what you could say, your gas pedal. Yeah, it's ready to go. Now, the thing is, I'm going to turn that off for now. All I have to do is turn off that back. You have a switch here. This switch going this direction is a tag switch, or a pass switch, which means pedal assist. And what they're talking about, the pedal assist, is you can ride this like a regular bicycle. Nobody will know the difference. And depending on the position of where you have this throttle, the pedal assist or the electric motor will kick in and help you pedal. It won't move the pedals for you. It'll move the wheel. It'll make that wheel more or less keep up with you. So if you get tired of pedaling, all of a sudden it'll kick in and put you back up to the speed that you were pedaling at. And that speed is based on wherever you have this at. That's the pedal assist. Then they have the TAG, or throttle, let's see, it's the tag unit, which is the throttle. Basically the electric motor takes over. For the moment, my brain is dead on what that actually means, but all it means is it turns it into a moped, because once you put it over on tag, all of a sudden this is your complete throttle. You can still pedal it, but you won't have to worry about the pedaling kicking in, because this right here, you do that, it takes off. And when I say it takes off, is if you're not ready for it and you pull that thing all the way down, as long as you're holding on to the handles, it'll take off and you're leaving right then. And the irony about it is, it can, like I said, it can do up to 30 miles an hour. And some people will say, yeah, downwind, downhill, and all this other stuff. To me, I don't care. If it gets me from point A to point B. The reason why I have this, there's two reasons. First one is this is my water plant. I will be showing another video later on, but what this does is when I'm parked at a lake with the camper, this right here carries my water system in it. And when I get down to the lake, I have basically nothing on me. And when I come back, I have pure, ready to drink water in here. And it is not electric. I don't have to worry about pumping it, priming it, or anything. But I filter that out and then pour it in what we have inside, which I showed on another video. I have a gallon jug under the sink that is pure, clean water to drink. And on that video, I showed an absolutely nasty bucket. Don't worry about that bucket. It's not being used. That whole world is nice and clean, almost surgically clean. So this right here processes that water from the lake and turns it into water you can drink with. Now this bike, because whenever you're riding around, the bike is so quiet, it's like an electric car. Don't go riding around without some way of alerting people that you're coming. I don't like those air horns, because the baffle in the air horn has a tendency to get holes in it and stuff like that and basically stop working. This never will. That's the reason why I put that on there. I did have the bike at one time with all kinds of lights and a mirror and stuff like that, but a storm came through and knocked this thing completely over and shattered the mirror, and I decided I don't ride it often enough to warrant needing a mirror, especially where I end up riding it at. It's the only bike I'm aware of that actually has a place to mount a water bottle holder. Those two bolt holes there came on the bike that way. All I did was take that thing and screw it down on them. That is not OEM. That's something I found aftermarket, and it works on it perfectly. But this bike, like I said, 30 miles an hour. Here is where it talks about your battery switch. And the battery switch, like I said, flip it right for the right battery, flip it left for the left battery, and it will go. It won't go faster than, I believe, 30 miles an hour. But anybody that wants to do over 30 miles an hour on a mountain bike, I really don't want to be on that bike with him, because that's too fast. And this back here, I bought a cooler. I punched holes in the back end and put on an axle, which you can see, and I took some conduit and bent a simple handle that goes onto the back of it with a bolt. And if you'll notice, this bolt is held in place simply by a cotter pin and a washer. I have a pin that goes through there, and it has 3 holes in it, and all I have to do is put it through one of those holes. This thing is not coming off, because I cheated. I put a huge nut underneath it and just tie wrap the nut to this frame right here, and it don't go anywhere. It runs great. The bike fits on the front of the camper. The cooler sits on the top of the camper, and when I need it, it's there. When I don't need it, it's over to the side. Nobody's ever tried to steal it. I don't think anybody would ever want to steal it, because it's not one of those newfangled bicycles. But I got it for the mountain bike build on it, because some of the places we go, it's a little bit rough ground. I don't care about how hard it is to pedal, because I don't pedal. I just simply use the electric part and use it as an electric bicycle. It worked great. It does great. It didn't cost a whole lot. Didn't take much to put it back up to where it needed to be, and this thing runs me. And you already saw it take off. I had it in the tag mode, forgetting about that, and when I twisted the throttle, the back wheel jumped. It was ready to go, because that's what this bike does. So that is more details on the bike. Again, no lights on it, because where we're at out there in the woods and stuff, you don't need lights. And if I needed a light, I showed a video about an emergency light that I have, and I'll just use that guy, crank it up, and I have light for quite some time. But that is it. That is all about this e-bike and trailer. Yes, I do carry other things in the trailer. I empty it out and go around the woods area looking for firewood, and it's not so much for firewood for a fire. It's the fact that I have pre-cut firewood, because I have a saw that I cut it down to a certain size, and when I go out in the woods, I throw my saw in the back of this thing, go out, see a branch on the ground that looks dead, and I'll cut that thing up to where it'll fit inside this box. Then I'll take it back to the camp and empty it. Then I'll put the water stuff back in it and just basically let it sit there and only use it when I need it. This thing is a blast to ride. It's comfortable, and it's ready to go when I am. That is your details on this e-bike. Somebody asked me if you can still buy this thing. I'm not sure they make these anymore. I know they make e-bikes now that, like I said, the motor is in the rear wheel or in the crank up where the pedals are. But those guys, they say, will do up to 60 miles an hour. And I just as soon know that when I put this thing on full throttle, that the best thing I'm going to do is 30. I'll never have to worry about this thing getting out of control on me. And it has the guts to pull this trailer, no issues whatsoever. But that is more details on this bicycle that I carry with me on my camping trips to be at the ready. And one thing to say about that is I went one time and decided not to take the bicycle. I got out there, and a guy was using a bicycle to get between point A and point B, and I thought, it doesn't cost me anything, just throw it on the camper and go. So it's going to go on a lot more camping trips. I thank you for watching, and I'm sorry about the things you guys are basically teaching me things to watch out for when I make videos, and I am watching out for those things and giving you updates. Talk to you later. Bye.